So what is the future of Nic? You know, I have thought this about you. Are you going to be, and I think the answer is no, because you're a serial entrepreneur, but I wonder if you're someone, I can think two things that very smart people end up doing. You know where I'm going. It is politics. You know, very smart people that they are successful, they have resources, they have ideas, and I guess you're not the owner of Google, you're not at that level, so that would be one avenue, so two avenues for you. One, become, or I guess it's a logical thing that you would want to become someone like Elon Musk, or become someone like, I don't know, I mean, I can only think of old names, Bill Gates or whatever, but maybe not. Let's come up with another one. I don't know, Steve Jobs or something. So one avenue is to have a larger company, for lack of a better word, and another avenue is politics. So which one of the two you think is more likely?
Well, I'm quite limited now with the exit because of the non-compete until end of 2028. So I cannot do a lot of things. So that's limiting to create a new business. I'm going to launch a new community, a new show, live Q&A. People can come and ask me questions. We're going to have the book. We're going to have, monthly and weekly events. So it's going to be great to create a community. And we call it the Nic Circle.
Hey.
With In the Nick of Time, my show, and so we're going to have a lot of cool stuff coming in April and in May. I'm working, and in fact, my AI built the whole new website. I mean, that website, it would have cost me $60,000 easy to have someone build it, or if I had to do it myself, I wouldn't even do such a good job that he did in a day, not even a day, 4 hours. So if you go to inthenicofTime.us and you take a look at the website, you can see, people can judge and see how Peter did in 2 hours. Right?
Wow.
So it's.
But what is the goal of this community that you're going to be creating?
Yeah, it's great to help people, with the AI shift and kind of having the conversation about jobs and what to learn and keeping up. I find people struggle with keeping up and trying to see what to learn, and so we're going to have a curated learning and a lot of great resources for people to keep up and get the news and get a weekly newsletter telling them, what's happening and what to learn and what to pay attention to, and then they can come and ask me questions live too, which is fun.
About technology, about how to navigate the wave of AI replacement.
Whatever. They want to get software accredited in the Department of War, or they want to, build a new company and they have a question.
I'm going to join. I have questions for business stuff. So business questions, AI questions, government contracting questions.
Whatever I know, I guess, as long as it's not any competing information about Asage, I can do that. But other than that, they can ask me anything they want. And I am debating, to answer your second question about the politics. I think there's something there, particularly since I cannot create a company. So there's a path there. It's an interesting path, right? You can do a lot, and I can get stuff done, but it's also pretty dangerous sometimes, unfortunately, with the family and, threats and death threats and whatever I see people go through. And so I don't know if I want to bring this to my family, but I'm debating it, and I finally passed the 9 years of citizenship where I can run for Senate. So,
okay, so you have, I guess, two paths for politics. One is legislative, senator, congressman, that type of thing. And the other is, being a mayor, then being a governor. Which one? I suspect that you like the most being a mayor and a governor. Am I wrong? Or?
Yeah, mayor is boring. I need to, if I want to make an impact, I need it to be broad and more than a city. So I'll have to go with Congress or Senate. So.
Gotcha. No, you're right. But also, it could be fun to be a great administrator of a city. Totally embed technology in the whole thing. Use technology that nobody else. A lot of do you have any thoughts on the cities of the future? Have you thought about that? Have you did some research?
Yeah.
Have you done some research on that?
We're so far away from it. The waste and the bureaucracy and the bloat that we created with these cities and these counties and states are despicable. That's going to have to change. We're going to have to cut spending across, states and local governments. And the government should be focused on, bringing value to the citizen and not trying to control everything. I was just installing a gate here at my house, and it's, the amount of paperwork to put a freaking gate at a house, which I own already, and, why are you asking me, all these questions? It's some states are worse than others. I mean, Florida is pretty good, where I live, but you look at California, I mean, they couldn't even rebuild after the fires because, it take, 18 months to get a permit. I mean, all this stuff is designed, right, to create useless jobs, useless chaos, taxes, more taxes. I mean,
now, so what is the future of government contracting as impacted by AI? I mean, I'm just thinking, you have the federal employees and you have the vendors. Federal employees maybe are going to be diminished, but what percentage in the next 5 years? Or maybe not. What is your prediction? Do you think it's going to, the federal workforce in the next 5 years, if you have to guess, what happened?
Well, it's very difficult to fire people, and the government is doing very poorly in reducing funding to agencies. So I doubt anytime soon the number is gonna go down, which is not good because it's bloated and create more bureaucracy, more governance, more nonsense. So I think it should go down a bit, maybe not drastically, but a little bit. And my fear with AI disrupting job is that the government is going to say, well, we should employ these people and create new jobs, and that's going to compound the problem. So we might actually go the wrong direction and actually, making it worse. But when you look at AI used in contracting, it's been already pretty insane. If you look at the volume of responses to RFPs that the government is getting, now that AI is writing all these responses and they don't know how to down select because a lot of these responses are written by AI with made up stuff, and that's going to lead to a lot of fraud, a lot of issues with companies not delivering the work. And the wrong people getting selected, and so you start seeing, the government using some of the same tools to do the assessment and the review of the proposals. But I have an anecdote about this. When I was in the government, I was interviewing for Platform One, the DevSecOps team in the Pentagon. And, we had 250 companies applying to the bid, and, I read the bids on paper, right? And we had I had my top 10, right, on paper. And so we met, the companies, and the top 10 ended up the bottom 10 after meeting them in interviews, right?
No!
And so that tells you that, a lot of companies are very good at writing stuff and, checking the boxes on paper, but then when you start digging and asking questions and going deep in the subject and particularly when you have someone like me that's technical on the government side, which is very rare, and we need more of that, people that can actually, that know how to get it done and can get into details so that they know if someone is, misleading the government or not, or just doesn't know enough to get it done, and so with me that would not fly, and so I was able to see it very quickly with, 10 interview questions per company. So we spent like 3 days interviewing companies. But that was super powerful. And I was surprised when a lot of the government people told me they never do interviews, in-person interviews, because they're afraid of.
No, you think evaluation is going to stop being in writing, and evaluation maybe will go to oral presentation, technical presentations, coding challenges. Do you think that the world is going that way now? That what I've been hearing is that they are expensive sometimes, both for the vendors and for the government. The vendors, they need to put all this time, maybe 50, 60, 70 hours into the coding challenges, into oral presentations, and the government needs to spend time being live. So, but I think it's going there, right? If you have to predict, would you say that writing proposals I asked some other people, they told me no. What are your thoughts? Do you think writing proposals are going to die or no?
I think so. But I think that there's a bigger problem is, if I was in the government right now, I could take my AI agent and write the app instead of bidding it. So why wouldn't I do that, right? So why do I still need to do a contract if I can just use agents to do the work? So many of the software work, and a lot of it is software nowadays. You could drastically automate and build in-house. the whole landscape, and you see companies talking about how software as a service is dead. SaaS companies are going to go away because AI is replacing all these tools, because now you can build your own customized tools based on your own needs and demands in a few days, which is what I did with my dashboard. I have, all my custom finance and health and, book and whatever else. I'm doing 25 freaking tabs on there.
On dashboards.
Really customized to me, and I don't need to go buy all these tools. So I think we're going to see a massive shift. No one can even comprehend it. My day-to-day completely shifted, and the way I use tools and the way I use, things, and I don't even code anymore. And I was one of the most prolific coder, since I started.
I'm so curious. So you see, I'm the perfect candidate to join your community, and if you can share some of that, I'll be so happy. If you do this, are you going to do this type of thing, the nick of time? Maybe share how you organize your day, how you will have all these dashboards.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to have deep dives, sessions. I'm going to share prompts that I give to my agents. I'm going to walk through people on how I set it up. I have 13 agents. I have a agent room where I can see on the dashboard. I can see what they're doing in real time and how they talk to each other. And it's like having a virtual office where I can see the agents working in real time and what they're doing and what they are collaborating on. I'll show all that in the show. It's going to be fun.
When is the first show?
I don't have a date yet. Probably mid-April, end of April.
Mid-April. I'll take it. I'll
we're
promote
building
it.
A whole bunch of content. We're building my agents are working 24/7. Even when I go to bed, I give them a list of tasks. So when I wake up at 7, it's done.
No!
My job is just keeping them busy. It's like keeping track of the work and keeping. I lose sleep when I'm not giving them stuff to do. They need to be working.
I love it, but you need to know. I guess maybe something for the future is going to be visioning, because you have some people some agents that will do the work, but you need to know where you're going. So
I can't see it, but you just said a word I didn't want to say because it's in my book. But the vision is all over the place in my book. So
interesting. Well, Nic, it's always a pleasure. It's totally unexpected the way this conversation went, because you come up with new stuff. But thank you so much.
Of course, thank you so much.